He goes, why is this off pod? I didn't know if we wanted to once again talk about the slow moving but brilliant success of Baby Shower Comedy Podcast. I just told Miller to check out the views on the last episode, and then he sees them and goes, why is this 97? Why is this off pod? We got to have this.
You said that by the end of the year we're going to hit 100 on a clip, right?
Yes, this is exactly what I've been saying, and you've been going like, all right, man.
Peeps, what do we have? We got 25 days left. 25 days left. If you're listening to this, just share the YouTube link of Sex Party with your buddies.
Yes.
We need to get it over 100.
Let's get this baby over 100. That's
pretty good, and that's organic. I didn't tell people to listen to the pod, right?
And your brother's not transcribing it.
No,
right? So
he's not transcribing it.
That's such a...
You're doing the circular point? I haven't seen the circular point in a long time.
Isn't it so funny if someone's just listening that there's this exception to our views where we have to qualify and your brother's not transcribing it?
Yeah, like they're hearing, like even our good listeners are like, what do you mean transcription? What is he talking about?
Miller's brother, or one episode where Miller's brother has transcribed it.
Yeah.
So our views shot up. But there's no reason. I actually don't know why. Although I've been bringing up, I wrote down in 2 Ubers, or at least one Baby Shower Comedy Podcast down in the South, Nashville and stuff. Because people kept asking me how you can see me and stuff. And I was like, Baby Shower
the Uber
pod.
driver.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make much sense either, right? Like, that's like maybe 1 or 2 people. This is some organic.
This means like some people have been sharing, which they should.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah. 97, bro.
You think it's Sex Party? You think that people are like, whoa, I need to listen to this. We need to start doing better titles here. Even if we don't talk about a sex party on this episode, it should be Sex Party 2.
Yeah. Or like, or like Hardy gets fired. Like you want maybe just give something, that's like really kind of like, whoa, maybe I got to wait to listen to this.
Hardy's big deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Hardy signs a film or some shit.
Yeah.
Because I was like I listened to it. Great but also kind of an organic build, I think, on our viewership.
Right.
Because our viewership kind of dipped for a second. It went back down to like teens, 20s, and I was like, okay, but I think because of Vindaloo, which is in the 70s, this popped right out past that.
Well, I also think when people see that it's
97, baby.
Like the teens were the ones where we were remote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of them. I think it's only been, I think a few people realized that we were no longer remote, but it took a couple non-remotes.
Yeah.
And
people catch wind. They're like, oh, they're not remote anymore. I'll get back.
Yeah, all right.
They catch wind.
Come on. This is so crazy, dude. This is a total manifestation thing. I was like, this is the 100. This is going to be the 100 one.
Well.
Most likely. Knock on wood.
And we took a week off before, so maybe a lot of people are, people are finally catching up. Like Hardy was also saying, people are behind.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe
they get a little bit behind. Now they're caught up.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah, I can't even.
Pressure's on. How are we going to follow up a 97 ball?
I'll tell you how. We're probably going to stink it up.
Yeah.
We usually like to come out after a big pod and sort of just riff.
Well, it has been 2 weeks. We should have a lot to talk about. You were on the road for 10 days.
Yes, a full 10 days, which I realized a lot of people didn't understand. I think they thought I was gone for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a full tenor.
With Luch and Juan Nicolone.
Tom Luciano, Juan Nicolone. And, went down to Nashville and Chattanooga, Tennessee. Oh, by the way.
Did you give me a sticker? Did you get me a mug?
I got you something.
By the way, I didn't even show you the surprise.
Oh, yeah, I know. Because every time Miller hits me up midweek, he's like, oh, you're going to shit when you
This
come
surprise
to the
isn't as good as other surprises. I bought 3. Here, we'll do this, and then I'll tell you about my surprise.
I got Miller something on the road.
It's always good when it's in a brown paper bag. This is a good gift. It means that it's like kind of like a Trading Post type store that you got it in.
You know it's an original local.
It smells like incense. Did you get it at a place that was burning incense? Magnet?
No. Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Woo!
Country Music Hall of Fame.
Pretty
and Museum,
ripping.
Nashville. This is a nice magnet.
Isn't that nice? I knew you'd appreciate this.
It's like thick, but kind of cushion it. Like it's got a little cushion to it.
Yeah, it's a professional, sturdy skyline on that. Here's what's great: we didn't even go inside.
I was about to say it's gonna look
like you haven't been.
When I throw this up, I'm going to be like, yeah, so all those magnets are places that I've been, except for the one. Except for the Nashville country music. That was a gift.
I was like, I don't even know if Miller likes country music, but this is a nice magnet. When you're in the gift shop, you know, certain people like magnets. I've seen your fridge. So here's the thing. My cousin's fridge, magnets don't stick.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Like,
yeah, some people that don't work.
The Los Angeles one, you kind of have to let me see if it sticks.
Yeah,
well, that one kind of is tight. You had to bend it a little bit.
That's a nice. And after that mug, I got to somehow repay you for the Venice mug. Yeah, look at that. We're getting a nice, dude. Nashville now you got up there. Because did you go to Nashville or no?
No.
Okay.
I just went to Chattanooga. I went through I don't know.
You know what's funny, too, by the way? A couple times when we were down there, we were talking about, like, going on the road and making it a trip and how awesome it would be. Yeah. And then I kept remembering, I'm like, wait, Miller fucking did this.
Yeah.
I kept being like, Miller did all this research. And when you're out there, though, I think when I was sitting on the couch with you, it was like I was kind of more distant from what was happening to you.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
Like, when you were telling me what you were doing, it's sort of like... It was like, oh, yeah, that's sick. But I wasn't registering sometimes the amount of like, but then when I'm like sitting in a car driving around city from city, sleeping on couches, waking up on air mattresses, doing comedy places. And I'm like, man, it'd be sick to do this for like a couple months. And it started hitting me. I was like, oh my God, Miller was doing this.
I was going to ask you, would you like, because you do like your alone time, but were you happy that you had Luch and Juan?
Yes,
you know?
Yes, but I did one day bail out on the hike.
Uh-huh.
They were like, we're going on a hike. I was like, I won't be going. I'll be staying
I need
here.
some alone time.
Yeah, I'm taking a nap. The hike. We had done a double set Wednesday night, so we did the comedy catch.
Right. The mic?
The mic, show, which was like pretty attended.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did great. Like, went like swimmingly. And some guy in the back, this was funny. He stopped me and like a cowboy hat on. He was like, hey, I've been working and running a club for many years in Florida.
Uh-huh.
He was like, you were great. Like, are you going to be in the clubs this weekend? And then I get Greenspan comes in. He's like, we got to go right now. We have to go right now, Matt. He's like, and I was like, oh, all right, hold on. I was like, what's your, and he's like, no, we have to go. And I was like, oh.
Did you just backhand slap Greens?
Yeah, I was like, no, because then in the parking lot, Greenspan goes, did you see that guy? I don't think he really owned anything. Because he had a look. He had a very he looked.
Wait, so was did you guys actually have to go, or was Greenspan thinking that he was helping you out by doing that?
Oh,
don't talk to this guy.
That's what it sounded.
Don't give him any of your information.
That's what he sounded like.
No, we have to go.
Matt, this is a nobody. Because I didn't know. Yeah. It certainly wasn't the guy that's supposed to. So those people weren't there, unfortunately.
The owners of the Comedy Catch?
Yeah, because Juan and I and Tom and like, I know Juan, I heard Juan's I could hear in the fucking bathroom, and I had to go up after him, and I was like, son of a... I was thinking I was going to go in and just dig my heels in and be an idiot.
Yeah.
And then like Juan classics, throwing him out. I'm like, okay, we're going.
Even though it's a mic?
Yeah. I was like, we're going to town.
Was this the first set of the road trip?
Well, it was in Chattanooga. We did a mic in Nashville.
Right.
Which I posted a little clip of. I don't know if you saw, where I'm like, how am I going to get this set from you? The guy in the thing. Yeah. Which was fun. It was a fun set, but it was definitely like a mic. Now on the road, and you could say this, mics are like, mics are kind of showy.
And you could attest to this.
as a couple of road comics, these are well attended. Like, they're Mikey in the sense that, like, my cousin said this. Taylor was like, I was blown away. She came in Nashville to the mic.
Right.
And she was like, I was blown away by how much dick, suicide, depression, racist. I was like, yeah, no, it's a thing. Mostly guys. It's a thing everywhere.
Yeah.
And you don't think, you're like, we know it to an extent, but then, like, if you watch it through someone else's eyes, like when she was like taken aback, like when we were driving home from the mic, she was still processing. I was trying to be like, so it's like kind of good, right? You like my set?
Yeah.
She was like, there was so much suicide. I was like trying to snap her out of it, you know?
You're like, I was thinking about doing my own suicide joke, but I was like, I can't. It was fun. Like, there's this NYU reporter, this girl that goes to NYU. She's a journalism major, and she reached out to me to like do an interview with me about like comedy and like cancel all this stuff.
Is this the reveal?
And she was
okay.
But she was she was asking me. She's like, some of it was about cancel culture and stuff. She's like, are there jokes like that you hear where you're like, whoa, that's? And I go to these open mics every day.
Yeah.
The amount of it goes in one ear and out the other.
Yes.
I'm like, the amount of crazy things that people say at these places.
Yes. It's almost like being a person in New York where you just get used to like the homeless, the naked, the whatever the fuck it is. You just don't even register it very much.
Yeah.
Luch was making this joke a couple times, how like people in the South, like when you're walking out of places, they'll be like, and he kept thinking like they were saying something, and he would be like, "What? Is there something?" He would like answer them, and they were always just going like, "Have a nice night," you know?
Yeah,
like,
people talk more in the set. They're like
nice.
I was walking by. Me and Greenspan were walking by a guy. He was paying his parking ticket in the meter thing, and he turned around and said, "Hey, how's it going?" And I was like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, what? So that's funny though. Those mics, so much like that.
Yeah, but you guys were going tight material because I did this too. Like the first set that I did on the road was that comedy catch mic.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I kind of have to do material. I can't just go in and do open mic.
So that's what kind of happened.
But I did like B's. I didn't go A material. I did.
I went like B. I went like BB pluses.
Yeah.
There were some. I didn't do bass. I didn't do pants. I wasn't doing it. I didn't even have time. But I did want to do this thing, which was the most exciting about it for me, was map the way I do things onto a comedy club room. Because there are things that are different about me, right? But it didn't matter. Like when I was like, "How much time do we have left?" Like yelling it into the ether, and like the guy. It worked perfectly.
How about
the guy was like, "You got like what?" He was like, "You got like most of your time, you know." And then I was like, "I'll leave you with this." Like all of that moving I wrapped myself up in the cord when I went up there, and it all like mapped.
How about the
very well? Cash mapped.
How about the pre-mic meeting,
bro?
Isn't that hilarious?
It was bizarre. Like outside.
Outside the pre-mic meeting. Did you do? Because Chattanooga, this is the only time.
I'm so happy you brought this up.
I did mics all over, right?
Yeah.
Austin, Hughes, all these places. Chattanooga was the only place where every mic, it was both mics that I did in Chattanooga. There was a pre-mic meeting, and I'm like, what is a team huddle before we go to open mic comedy? It
was really fun. It was funny, man. They would like. So like the audience, they would like bring you outside the venue,
right?
Which why they didn't just do it where we were standing or sitting? I don't understand. Right? And then we would all. What was funny was we would all sort of line up, in a circle, in a sort of like odd kind of like sporting lineup of thing. Like, all right, well, Miller's going to be starting pitcher.
Like, dude,
you know? Like,
even though this was the first instance of you ever doing it, you knew what to do, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you so easily fell in line to the circle.
Oh, dude, I was like, this actually, in some ways, it felt kind of good. I'm gonna miss
almost like you've done it a lot.
Yeah,
but it was the first time you've done it. You're like, I know what's going on.
Yeah, okay. And then the second one they did, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, we're meeting outside.
And that was at the
JJ's.
JJ's.
Which, by the way, that was my put it this way. One of the guys was like, I heard
about your set at the Catch.
No. JJ's was a wreck.
Yeah.
So I like went for the searching goal mat, just like I'm gonna throw all my shit out and try to find something here.
Right.
We were at a mic, but again, mics or shows down there.
Well, did your JJ set have people there? Mine didn't. It was all comics.
It was very Joey Bats. There was a lot of comics, but there was some audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom did great. Tom had a great set. There was this legendary Span got this text from one of the guys that hosts down there. And he goes, Tom and Juan were great. Matt bombed, but I'm sure he has some juice.
Was this during the mic or afterwards?
No, this is after the mic.
He's 20 feet away.
Yeah, I'm like,
check the phone.
Tom and me and Luch, we were joking about going over to the guy's house after and kicking his ass. Like
I would have been like, hey, Greenspan, why don't you text him back and say, you're a fucking loser. In Chattanooga at a J&J's mic.
That's what I was like. I was like, the guy's not a booker.
You did one set this whole week.
He was nice. Greenspan knew. He's like, I know what you're up to.
Yeah.
But it's still a fun.
What a weird way to put it. He's got juice. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Like he's got promise. Like I can kind of see some.
That's what he's saying.
He's got legs.
Yeah.
And who is he to like?
I don't know.
He's some kingmaker. Like he knows what's good and bad.
Listen, to be fair to the guy,
you did bomb.
I bombed, and I knew. But again,
was it Ledbetter?
What's that?
Andrew Ledbetter? Was it that guy?
Oh,
or no?
Andrew's great. He hosted a couple of the.
Yeah.
It wasn't him. It was some other guy.
Yeah,
but we did to answer your original. We did the double sets on Wednesday. Catch.
Right in
then
Common House,
which ripped. I ripped, but it was kind of this crazy thing where
was it packed?
Yeah, I mean, that was up my alley.
Yeah,
you can see everybody generally. It's intimate.
Yeah.
It's a tighter room.
Doesn't that place smell amazing?
Dude, that was a cruiser. That place, it was like a Soho House kind of place.
It's the Soho House of the South.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the next day, though, that was the next day where I was like, I'm not going on the hike. I was so spent from.
Dude,
by the way,
if you had the stone paper. And you went up to. I told you about the receptionist at Common House.
That was there.
Yeah, how I had her write on stone paper. It would have been so perfect if you were like, "Hey, write on this." She's like, "You're the second guy to come in here."
By the way,
telling me to write on stone paper.
I had that notebook.
Oh, really? The big
stone paper,
big black one.
So it could have easily gone down.
You're like, this comic from New York put me on it.
I didn't know that was that girl. Yeah. Here was what was so funny, dude. Span, some asshole at the fucking venue.
At Common House?
Yeah, just fucked everything up.
Some asshole at the venue.
He sat, the guy working there, he sat people right next to the stage. So you could hear them. Guys shaking drinks in the back. You can hear that. Here's the thing.
What do you mean right? You sat him right next to the stage,
like people eating. So at this venue, there's also just people eating.
Right.
So he got pissed because they were sat you could hear them. They were literally right next to where the comics
they weren't. Oh, wait, what?
They were seated right next to where. So ours was upstairs. I don't think you did it in the same place. Oh, mine
wasn't upstairs. No. Yeah.
Ours was upstairs. It was in a different room, and they were the restaurant.
And there were people eating. Yes. Okay, I thought you meant
No. And Jeff came in and the lights were on high and the music was played. So all this stuff was just off.
Yeah.
But but he got it was fucking dude. That show ripped.
It's funny. I'm editing. I did a bunch of footage for my road trip. So and I'm just now editing the Chattanooga part. So all these things that you're saying about Chattanooga, like I'm pretty like it's in my memory. Like the Bode Show. Like I have clips of my set, the Bode Show, the Common House, Comedy Catch.
Bode Show was it was fun, dude. I gotta say, one, I like Greenspan. Seems a lot better to like. I had some great combos with Greenspan. Yeah. Such a nice guy. Like his apartment was awesome.
His apartment's fantastic.
Like he got this great view. He's extremely hospitable.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. Like we were riffing. The hangs were great.
Yeah. Did you go to Rock City? City of Rock? Rock City?
Where's that in Nashville?
In Chattanooga.
Chattanooga? No.
He had some guys come over and they were putting up blinds. And I wanted to go do something. Yeah. Like Greenspan had work, and I was like, "What should I do?" Like the aquarium, like because the aquarium was apparently pretty good. Like so I was like, "Oh, I might go over to the aquarium." And they're like, "Are you only here for one day?" And it's these like two blinds. You know? And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just here for like one more day." It's like you got to go to Rock City.
Really?
And the guy was like, "Yeah, you're going to Rock City today." I'm like, "All right, I guess I'm going to Rock City." And it was like, they go, "You can see 7 states at one time." It's one of those. It's like a mini, you know. And it was like fine.
7 states.
It was fine, but it was also like,
isn't the South like weird shit like that? Like what you can do is kind of like, is this cool?
Yeah.
I guess it's cool.
In one frame of your eye. When else in your entire life have you been able to see 7 states at one time?
We had this.
That's where you're going.
Yes, with the 2 time zones.
Yeah,
we were kind of blown away that there was 2 time zones in the state, and we kept. Joking.
I was trying to think of a joke where I was thinking about that same thing.
The joke was like, Tom goes, well, where does it change? Like in the state. And I go, yeah, that'd be funny if some fucker's got 2 time zones in his living room. You know?
Oh, that's funny. I was thinking about like when I was driving through, I thought it'd be like I was thinking about the same joke. I was like, dude, I was thinking like a street where so everyone like is getting off work on one side of the street and everyone on the other side of the street is kind of like looking over like shit.
That's funny.
You know? They have one more hour.
Yeah. We that was a big bit that we were having fun with. We had a bunch of bits that the list we were having so much fun with.
Right.
We loved making those.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like we thought what we were doing at the end of every day, we would like make a list of the topics of the day and keep it going throughout the day too, like updating it. But dude, in the meeting you brought up, the outside the
yeah.
So the guy gets Joe Juan's name wrong and calls him Javon Nichols. Javon Nichols.
Yeah.
So that was Juan's name.
Javon for the rest Nichols.
Javon Nichols. Right?
That should be his porn name.
That's a good name.
Javon Nichols.
Javon Nichols. Loving it, dude. But yeah, it was I kept the Comedy Catch cup. I got a cup.
I wanted one, dude. I wanted to snag one.
Bro, that was one of my big snags. I got it right on my desk. I'm such a nerd, dude. I also got Chattanooga postcards that are on my desk too now. So I was fired up, man. You know, like the Common House set went really, really well. So that was like maybe my best. That and Catch. Bode was solid too. It was. I
didn't do Bode Show.
Oh, okay. It was a little different. Like Jeff does a great job though there too with that. I told you about Juan's. Juan's storytelling hour, which is I almost want to do this. Maybe you'd get involved in this as like a thing. This like storytelling living room idea.
Yeah, Moth.
Yeah, is that the Moth? Is that what they do? Yeah. Yeah, that's like
there's no storytelling platform right now.
Yeah, there's not one.
You're going to be the first storytelling entertainment force.
This intimate, that was fun. Where he like fucking told, what were you gonna say?
Were there any like out of towners that were on the boat? Like we had some guys from Atlanta come.
Yes.
Were there any like heavy hitter Comedy Central guys?
Well, Neil, I guess Neil's not Comedy Central, but Neil,
you know what I mean? Though, like,
was from Oklahoma City. He was there. They had.
Did he come up because he knew you guys were there, or was he just passing through? Because he does. I feel like he's traveling a lot.
Yeah, he does like Laughing Skull and some other pretty big stuff down there.
Yeah,
he's pretty well known. They had a younger cat come up from like Chattanooga that did damn well. He opened the show. Younger kid. I saw JJ's that was mad funny. So that was cool. But not like I guess not like someone that was like I know he's had in the past.
This guy Andy Sanford, I think his name was.
Oh, okay.
Who's been on like Conan and stuff like that when I was there. So I was wondering if there was someone like that where it was like.
We did see this guy John Reap.
Yeah.
At Zany's. We went to Zany's.
Did you go to Zany's? Did you see Bergazzi there?
No, I think we missed him by a night.
There was one night.
Same night he was there. Even
there was one night where,
dude, I think it was a
New York comic was down there. I forget who it was, but there was a New York comic that took a picture of the new jokes night.
That's what it was.
Bergazzi was on it. John Reap was on it, and there was this other New York guy on it.
We're idiots. We were in Nashville that night.
I would have killed to see Bergazzi do 10 minutes of new material.
Bro. We went into
because I only see Polished.
Yeah.
I don't see him.
And that's like, oh, look at this. Miller's got a guest. And that's the most fun type, in my opinion, to see. Yeah. You know? This
might be my chili paste.
This is Miller's chili paste.
That might be my chili. I was listening to a podcast and they said that Carbone. Have you ever been to Carbone?
Yeah, in New York.
Yeah, they have an amazing spicy rigatoni. And this guy on the podcast was saying that they have the recipe for the spicy rigatoni online.
Oh, nice.
So I bought some materials that you can't just get at the supermarket, like this chili paste. So I'm going to make the spicy rigatoni from Carbone.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
You got like a sweatsuit going on too. I just noticed this.
I know, yeah.
This is a nice little deal.
Dude.
What has been going on back here?
Lots. Well,
he goes lots.
My surprise, I do have like I don't know if it's a story. I haven't last night. I don't know it'll be any. But my surprise for you isn't gonna. It was more kind of like an off pod thing. But I got 3 variety packs of seltzer. So I have a full shelf.
Yeah.
The whole middle shelf of my refrigerator, not door shelf.
Right.
Fridge shelf. Is all different types of seltzers. Different flavors, different types.
Where did you get it from?
Just Amazon.
Nice. That's pretty sweet. We were seltzering down there. We kept stopping at this one like mini mart on the way home to get seltzers. Bubbly.
I didn't catch that part.
Oh, yeah. Bubbly down there. You missed it.
I wasn't that attentive where I was catching the seltzer runs.
You weren't catching every little thing that we did down there.
No. But
yeah, man, I bowed out of the hike that next day, napped, took a meditated. But it was nice. It was nice when I'm on like a road trip like that. It's fun. The hang's like a lot of it, you know? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like mine was all solo. It would have been nice to have a buddy for like certain portions, but I could see for 10 days my personality.
Yeah.
Being around 2 guys for 10 days would really get on my nerves.
It does.
Like at day 3 or 4, I'd be like, whoa, we're not even halfway through.
Yeah, because no matter how much you like some people, this is just the name of the game. You have to have boundaries.
Yeah.
You can listen to too much Jay-Z. That's what I always love to say, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just, you can listen to too much of anything. But Tom got a hotel. He didn't stay at Greenspan's.
It was you and Juan that stayed at Greenspan.
Yes.
See, that's a pro move by Tom.
That's right. Tom.
Pro move.
Bowed out. Greenspan and I were in the kids' like room there. This like bunk. By the way, temperature controlled. Some of the best sleeps I was getting.
Yeah. I've been in that bed. What he had?
That bed was incredible.
Did he have an air mattress for the second bed, or you and Juan slept in one bed?
He had another air mattress in there.
Right, but that bed is pretty good. It's a little on the softer side. It's a little on the
soft side.
It's a little on the soft side.
I'm so glad we've both slept in this bed because I was like, but it's soft, a little soft, but the sheets were like light but also heavy. Did you notice this?
Did Greenspan like when you showed up? Was it fully made?
Yes, but like sort of not made. It was just stuff was there. It was like kind of like it was like it's clean.
When I showed up, he said the same thing. He was like, "It's all clean." So I just I went to bed.
So did I.
And then the next day, he was like, "Did you sleep with it like that?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, could you put the duvet cover on before you sleep?" And I was like, "I gotta put a duvet cover on."
What are you doing, Greenspan? Put the duvet on for me.
Well, like that's just kind of like I was like, does it really matter if I just like sleep with the duvet with no cover on? Am I that gross?
Yeah.
Where like I can't have one night with no duvet cover on?
Yeah, dude, he had a nice view in that room.
Yeah. But you also like Chattanooga is cool, but it's not like it would get so old after 7 days. Like I wasn't upset to leave. I was only in Chattanooga for 3 days. There wasn't any part of me that was like I could use another day here.
Did you see the AMC downtown?
No.
Oh, come on. I was so pumped. Isn't it funny though? Greenspan is like his apartment is like it almost looks like an evil lair in like a sick, like it's a penthouse, like it overlooks the city. It's like dug into a nice mountain.
Did you guys like hang out with people other than Comet? Like there were people that we were hanging out with down there where they're like, "Oh, you live in that place? Oh, hoity-toity, you know."
Right.
They're like, "Oh, you live in the
yeah
Maliba building? Oh, okay."
Yeah, Greenspan. And Greenspan is also like running for mayor.
Yeah, eventually.
So
is
like,
he currently doing it? He told me that was going to take a couple of years.
Yeah. It's down the line, I guess. But like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's got this crib overlooking Chattanooga, the city. You know, he's going to run for mayor. You're like, it's kind of this like, it's kind of it's a real experience.
It was when we went out after the show one night, and the people that work at Common House, were at the place.
This is what happened to us.
So we were talking with them.
Yep.
And one of them like kind of called Greenspan, you know.
Yeah.
Like now that we were outside of Common House, like the one of them was like, there was one instance when I first started working there where you were kind of a dick. And I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want to see, a confrontation.
You're like, yes.
But one of them was really pretty. Was there a brunette there that was like...
There were some really good-looking women, let me tell you.
One of the,
really good-looking.
I forced one of the girls to follow me on Instagram. One of the Common House girls.
That happened.
She was like, "Do I?" And I was like, "Listen, follow me, just now to be polite, and then if you want to unfollow me tomorrow, that's fine. But just follow me now." And she still follows me. Shouts.
Shouts to whoever's following you.
I forget her name.
I had one lady who really took to the pants bit.
Yeah.
And it was an experience from there. Okay. She probably tried to have sex with me 4 or 5 times.
Really?
After the Common House. Yeah.
And you're like, listen.
She'd be like, it's so funny because like I do theater and stuff. You could take my clothes off. I'm kidding. I'm not. So what do you want to like, what do you do? Like, do you want to go in the bathroom? I mean,
Really?
Yeah, and she kept going like, "You want to know my type?" And she like held up the menu, and she was like, "There's a mirror. There's my type." I was like, "I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding." And she would go keep going, and I was like, "How many times?"
Does she follow you on Instagram?
Yeah. She follows me. She's great. Shout outs. She liked me. You know, my comedy. I started realizing this too. By the way, Miller, this is funny. I have like a demo of like drunk middle-aged women too. They just see me go.
Do you know the name? You could say it off off air if you want.
I don't actually know if I know her name, but I could find it at some point. And then she spilled a beer all over Greenspan. By the way, Neil, this is the best. The whole time Neil's going, because she was like heckling. So at one point she like heckled Neil, and Neil told her like, shut the fuck up.
God, I wish I could find it.
Oh yeah, well I'll show you to you off. But she kept. Everyone came like Span's such a mayor. He kept going. Come sit with us. We're eating dinner with a guy with an audience member. Tom's telling a story about him and Choi had dinner with like the kitchen staff at one point. Everyone's just saying, and it's nice. People want to hang out with you.
You want to hear that?
They're fans. Like, I don't give a flying. Like, to me, that's like, if you don't, you should enjoy some of that stuff. Yes, I get it. You're tired. But like, what's the point? Like, these guys, some of these people are telling you about what they like, about what you're doing and shit. Like, come on, you know?
Yeah, what? You guys didn't.
Oh, well, that, like, you know, like sometimes I feel like, you know, it's it can be an imposition, but
no.
Yeah.
Not now.
Yeah.
Maybe in 20 years. Hopefully. If all goes well, it'll be an imposition.
We also thought it would be funny if, like, when someone comes up to you and it's, like, clear they're, like, interested in you, like, sexually as a comic, and then when they leave, you're like, fans, you know? And you just take it as they love your comedy.
Or the opposite, where, like, they're just a fan, but, like, because you're such a crazed out narcissist, you're like, she wants to have some.
That's also a way it could go, too. That
like last night, listen to it. Last night I had a set.
She said she liked one joke.
Last night I had a set at Tiny Cupboard.
Yeah.
And there are these four, I did really well. There are these four girls after the show that followed me on Instagram.
I saw your video.
There were four girls that followed me on Instagram. I was like, oh, look at that. So I followed them. I checked their profiles. They all have boyfriends. And I'm like, damn it. But here I am. Like, oh, look at this. You know?
I can tell when your sets too are getting pretty rap. Now I can sort of, I haven't even seen some of these. A lot of these I haven't seen, but I can tell when they're like getting really rowdy because like, it's like, I can feel it in the video. The girls like I
had a girl on stage last night.
Yeah, were you like measuring each other or something? I
was doing some tall stuff, and then
I'm like, this guy's doing
this
something.
Girl, they like, as I was doing some tall stuff, they like were pointing. I had my tall kiss joke where I'm like, they have too much.
Yeah.
They were like looking at this one girl, and I was like, what, are you tall? Like, and she's like, no, I'm really short. And I was like, how tall are you?
Yeah.
And then I had her come on stage and go back to back with me.
Bro, please do that in all your, because that's such a funny interactive.
Yeah.
And everyone knows it. Because how much you
and then I was joking around after she left. I was like, her butt, her height, she was the perfect height where her butt fit right in the crease of my knees. That's how short she was.
Crease of the knee.
And then there was
oh my God.
And then she was like, I'm sweating. She said that. And I go, you're sweating? And then I looked over to the other side of the audience and go, yeah.
That's fun, dude. TC, the Tiny Cupboard.
So I was about to skip it. I had a
yeah.
So I was booked on Bramante's show, but I was with some buddies beforehand, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to this party. It's like these 7 Australian girls," and I was like,
I don't know what this world you still live in. This like,
I know. Well,
thank God you get invited to those. I would never be.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No one's inviting me to that at this.
I was messaging Bramante. I'm like, what do I do? Like, should I go to the show or do I go to this party with 7 Australian girls? You know? And he's like, you could do whatever. I won't feel bad if you cancel.
By the way,
because I don't do that stuff anymore. You know, I don't go to these like apartment parties in Soho with like 7 Australian girls.
No,
that's like back when I was like 24, 25. You know, I'd be into that. But like I haven't done that stuff in a while. So I was like trying to plan. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go for an hour to the party and then say, hey, gotta go. Do a show.
Tough. Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Very cool. It's better that way because then there's no you don't have enough time to mess up in an hour.
That's true.
You're on fire for an hour, hopefully. You're on fire for an hour, and then you're like, sorry, everybody, I got to run. I have a show in deep Brooklyn. It's going to take me 7 days to get there.
That move's sick. The problem is you just generally never see those people again.
Well, that's why I go, how long are you guys going to be there? And they're like, we'll probably be there till like 1, 2 a.m. I'm like, ooh, maybe I leave, come back.
Yeah.
Post-show.
Yeah.
So I messaged Bramante. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to go early anymore because my buddies were going to be a little late to going.
Yeah.
So I was like, Bramante, could I go first on the Tiny Cupboard show so I can go to this party after?
It's good to know that that's why people need to go first on comedy shows sometimes. Because you're going, everyone's going, I need to go first. And one guy's just doing it because he's got some hot Australians.
Which is just as valid as anything else. That's just as valid as I got another spot later.
Honestly, maybe more valid.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Knowing some of the places these people are going to.
Yeah.
Maybe more valid if you have a gaggle of Australian babies that you need to attend to. By the way, Bramante, one of the only guys that's going to honor that.
Yeah, but
even if you tell him, Bramante's going to go, okay.
The funny thing is Bramante couldn't even show up to the show, so he had to like relay the message to Max. So he's like, Miller's got to go first. He's got to go. And then so I go over there, I do the spot, and I told my buddies, I was like, and then after my set, I went in, my hair was a little puffy, so I went into the bathroom and kind of put some water on it to like, so these comics are seeing me leave the venue with my hair kind of wetted, like I was trying to impress someone.
And they're like, what?
They're like, what is Miller doing, dude?
What professional responsibility could he have now that requires this? Because they're not thinking you're going to a goddamn fucking dive bar. Why did this colleague of mine need to bump me for a it must be something extremely he must have a TV. That's what everyone in my head, this is why I'm an idiot. Because in my head, whenever someone goes first, in knowing what I would need to be going on for me to ask to go first, it's like I only think people are about to go on like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got this in my head, but like it's a TV, it's always some late night spot I think they're going to.
Here's the worst part is that most people on my show, if they ask to go, they'll be like, "Could I go first? I got to get out of here," And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure." They go first, and then they stay the whole show. They're like, "No, this is better than what I was gonna do, is hang in here." And I'm like, "No, you should leave." I almost want to force them to leave. I'm like, "No, you said that you got to go."
That's the funniest thing.
It's happened multiple. It happened to Peter when Peter was running Baby Shower. He's like, he's like, "Has this ever happened to you?" And then he gave me that like chronological of events. Yeah. Someone asked him to go first because they have to leave.
Shocking.
And he goes, "They stayed the whole time."
Weird. That's terrible. That just means you just like, that's too obvious. That's too transparent. That means you didn't really have something to do.
Yeah.
You can't ask if you don't have somewhere to go. No, maybe it doesn't matter. I was always like, look, this isn't fair though, because what I was about to say doesn't usually apply, because it's like, if you don't have time to do it, then just don't do it. But a lot of the time what I think happens is something pops up that day or something. And then people want to do both, so they go, all right, let me see if I can do it. But we're talking about a bunch of stuff now where one guy is just asking because he may want to leave, but then he's going to feel out.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even if, let's say you had a second spot, and then after your spot you realize you can't make the second spot.
Yeah.
I still feel like I got to leave because I asked.
Yeah.
I don't even let them know that I can't miss the second spot.
Of course.
For all intents and purposes, everyone thinks
right,
I'm going to a second spot.
Right. Because I would assume they can't ask you again now.
Right.
Hey, can I go up? And it's like, well, last time you just sat here.
Right. It's 2 years later, and you still remember? Well, last time, 2 years ago. But I told my buddies, I was pre-gaming with them, before I went to this Tiny Cupboard spot. So I was like boozing. I had like 4 or 5 drinks before the tiny cupboard.
Oh man, you must have been loose.
Yeah, I was loose. I had a couple Modelo's or Narragansetts at Tiny Cupboard because I got there early. There was another show going on. I was like, I'll have a couple Narragansetts.
Okay. Yeah.
But I told my buddies.
By the way, just real quick, I'm gonna pin this. I remembered the comedy camp thing. Go ahead.
All right.
Can you how long that took? That was before the pod. I was trying to remember something. Continue. You told one of your buddies.
I told my buddies, I'm like, listen, you should plant the seed with these Australians.
Oh no.
We got a buddy coming. He's running a little behind. He's doing a show. And they were like, yeah, sure, dude. Like they're like, what? I was like, no, dude, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. Just plant the seed that I'm doing another show.
There's something so funny about a guy finding every particular moment to bring up a show. You have your buddies
and build
planting.
himself up.
Yeah.
It's a very selfish thing.
Yes.
No one cares.
No one cares, but you're planting it. They're planting it.
Right. It's a Tiny Cupboard show. It's not
like everyone around them is planting the seed about the show.
Yeah.
I kind of like that move. You know, you have someone come to the bar and recognize you.
Yeah.
Like a plant. Oh, hey, you're that comic from the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the show.
Oh, the show I'm doing tonight.
That show.
Yeah. I'll see you there. I do this. Dude, I do this on the app. Whenever someone like asks me on the apps or something, I usually find a way to go, I just came from a show. I'm doing some comedy tomorrow night. Whatever it is. Try to drop
on the
it.
apps. I'll even tell them that I got shows that I don't have.
Really?
Like they're like, can you do Wednesday? And I'll be like, I got a show that night, but I might be able to meet up at like 8:30, even if I don't have a show.
I tell them I got shows I don't have.
And then even when you show up on the date, they're like, how was the show? And I'm like, oh, I forgot. Yeah, the show was great.
Yeah, I forgot.
It was fantastic. Yeah, I crushed.
It was a fantastic show. I
do have a story about it. I got another story, but I'll finish this one and maybe I'll tell you the other one off pod. But so I go to this party with the 7 Australians, and I'm outside texting my buddy, and these 2 people walk outside the apartment building, and they're like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, I'm here for the party."
This is the party you're at?
The party that I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I show them there's a flyer for the party. It's like invite only, Samantha's birthday party or something like that.
Oh, are you outside like an apartment building?
Yeah, and it's invite only. I'm not with anyone,
Where in the city are you?
Like Soho.
Oh, okay. So
and
that's
they
pretty
go,
cool.
They go, who do you know? And I'm like, I got the fucking flyer. You think I just pulled this off the website? Like,
who do you know?
Obviously know. So I'm like, we're doing that. Like, how old are like? We're doing that move. Who do you know?
Yeah.
I want to punch you in the face right now.
Was it like, were they trying to, like, was there attitude to the question? Or
There's a little bit of attitude. There has to be with that question.
Yeah, that's hard to do that.
There's not like, oh, who do you know? Like a fun, let's see if we know the same person.
Okay. So it wasn't like,
No, it was like, who do you know?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And I was like, Ed.
Wait, is that a guy?
That's a guy.
Okay.
But that's the thing is that the people that I was going with aren't even like good. They're like, I'm kind of tangential to the tangent. I'm
tough.
Very far away from.
It's a very loose connection.
Yes.
Because even Ed
I hadn't seen in years. Ed I went to college with, and we like barely hung out. Like we saw each other. So...
Your recommendation is Ed, and that's really loose.
They go, who do you know? And I go, Ed. And I look at them, and they go, Ed Bougier? I go, yeah, Ed Bougier. And they go, oh, we love Ed. Yeah, go in.
Oh, Ed. Thank God he was...
Ed is such a name where That's not a lot, you know. I would have been like Steve if I was trying to like sneak in, but Ed.
Yes. But it's also very funny to try to get, because it's a precarious situation when you're like, you don't really know the guy you're relying on.
Yeah.
This happens at parties though, when you're like trying to get in sometimes. You're like, the person I know is like, you know, friends with a friend. And we had met before, but we kind of like caught up tonight.
Yeah.
So you're like, do I use him?
Yeah.
Are they going to like push me on this? Like, you know, like you're like, Ed.
And then you kind of read them.
They're like,
to see if there's any.
Do you
Do you know Ed? Who do you know?
Ed
here?
Bougier. Was that his actual last name?
Yeah.
That kind of sounds made up.
No,
Ed Bougier.
Bougier. I'm pretty sure. I think it's one of those last names where no one really knows how to pronounce it, and that's what often comes. So I go. They go. It's first floor. And so I go in, I walk into the apartment party, and the three people I know are right by the door. And I'm like, shit, man, I can't even do the cool thing where I walk through the party and kind of like my journey stops at the door. Now I'm a loser door guy, like hanging out by the door.
That's so funny. That happened with a couple comics at one of the shows where I was like, we were supposed to mingle, and I came in, and I was hoping that like some comics would be like all around the room,
scattered around deep in, so you can kind of strut your stuff a little bit through the party.
Neil, I'm on my way.
1 second.
Meanwhile, I come in, and they're all a bunch of introverts. They're just like to the side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God friggin' dang it. I'm going to have to fucking break this sucker open.
I even looked at one of the guys that I looked at that. I was like, do we know people deep in the party or no? Is this it? I asked him this.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was like, I didn't go first on the tiny cupboard for a door hang.
Oh, this is funny. Now you're annoyed at them.
Yeah, I'm like,
you left early.
It was a bunch of dudes. Like, I can see everything going on in the park. I walk in and it's mostly dudes, and I'm like, whoa. Where are the 7 Australian girls?
This is a sketch. You get up early on a goddamn Tiny Cupboard show to meet these chicks, and then it's a sausage fest.
Yeah, it's a sausage fest, and I'm pissed, you know,
like,
and I'm like,
Ed. What the fuck,
Ed,
man?
I drank tonight for this. I'm going to be hungover tomorrow for this. What do you...
Ed, there's a flyer for this. Where are the ladies?
Where are the girls? And all the guys, when I open up the door, kind of look to see if there'd be more girls. And I'm like, no, it's just me. It's just a guy.
What did Ed say? Wait, tell me what Ed said.
He was like, yeah, let me introduce you to some people, you know?
Nice bounce back, Ed. Nice. Wow, that's kind of strong by Ed, though.
So
he didn't say no. He didn't say, you know.
So we go in mid-party. We don't get deep. Yeah. There's a deep section, too. We go mid-party, introduces me to this girl.
So there's a deeper, you're like kind of branching in. Yeah.
So there's the middle, and he introduces me to this girl. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And she goes, hey, how's it going? Then she continues with her conversation. And me and Ed kind of look at each other, and he goes, sorry, man. And I was like, it's fine. That was my fault.
Sorry, you should go back to the Tiny Cupboard.
I was like, did you tell these people I was doing a show before? I thought we had a game plan. We talked about this before the party.
I thought we had a strategy. Hey, come on, man.
So then I end up going...
why is that so funny?
I end up going over and talking to these guys. One guy's from Guatemala and 2 guys are from Mexico City. Now I'm talking to the other people that are kind of outside, you know?
Okay, so at least you're getting involved. They are
right.
dudes.
I'm like, I'm not talking to my friend. I'm going to talk with some other guys to see if I can... Because I've seen what Ed can do. Not much for me.
You've seen...
He got me in...
Yeah.
Now that's to the extent of the help.
This is on you now. Plus, if chicks are there, you do want them to see that you're kind of a voyeur. You're kind of a voyaging cat.
Right.
You look to make.
About.
You're gonna. Hey, I'm here. I'm gonna meet people. I'm a go-getter.
Right.
You, Guatemalan guy.
Guatemala dude.
What's up?
He was a taller guy, so we automatically had something to talk. And I gave him the joke. I gave him my. They're like,
what do you mean? You told him you could tell it?
Or well, they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I do stand up comedy, right? Yeah. I'm like, I do stand up. I was like, if Ed hasn't spread word, I guess I have to spread word myself here. I guess I'm gonna have to do all the work.
I'm gonna have to run my own campaign.
Oh,
I do stand up.
You asked me what I do. I do stand up. Look around.
You've brought up stand up so much times in this story. It's incredible.
I had my notebook out at the party, just kind of. Right.
I thought you literally gave him your joke. Like, hey, listen.
Gave him one. There go. What do you have any like? Do you have like? Tell us a joke. You know. And I was like, well, here's one that's because he was a tall guy. I was like, here's one that you can say too if you want it.
Oh, so you did literally give that?
Yeah,
awesome.
I got a joke about being tall. And
I love that. Give them a
girls.
Joke.
I go, girls being tall sucks because when I go to kiss a girl, they have too much time to decide, and they all start laughing. And they're like, "Can I use that?" And I go, "Yeah, you can use it." So there's some quiet guy from Guatemala that's going to be doing my joke.
Yeah. Also. Brilliant way to get your campaign out. That you're a stand-up is have other people going, hey, there's a stand-up here. Just gave me this awesome joke.
And now they're doing, you know.
Now you're doing their bits around the party.
Yeah.
This is a brilliant way to become the man at a party.
I have other people doing my bits. At a party.
That's what
I'm just looking around and I hear people saying the tall joke and I'm just there smiling like the plan's working. My kingdom is forming.
That's right. Sooner or later, it's gonna get home to the Australians.
Yeah, they're like, are you the guy?
Are you? Meanwhile, they're probably only about 10 feet from you.
Yeah.
If they're even there. We don't know if they're there.
They're like, these two losers are telling jokes to each other. They're like swapping jokes.
You go, by the way, can I have that? Is the funniest. The guy, that's one of the funniest things.
Especially in someone that doesn't do comedy.
Yeah.
Saying, can I have that? Like,
he's going to be like using it at Thanksgiving and dinner parties. It is.
And then it's a great joke because also it leads itself to a kiss.
That's
you can kind of go in for the kiss kind of right after. If they laugh, you know?
Yes,
and then
yes. Because the joke is it takes a long... It takes a long. You have a long time to question, right? To question, the kiss. But it's also a good joke. Just as an aside, is because it's somewhat easy to drive for the guy, right? Like you have a big act because at least the beginning, before the act out, you do.
I do a little bit of an act out.
Is like more like.
Can you imagine? I do the act out for him too, when I tell him the joke. And then I see him at the party doing the act out.
You see him doing. If you gave him the act out, I would cry. I would cry.
He does it even better. He's like embellishing it. He like takes it and runs with it.
Yeah, you find him. You go, can I have that?
Can I have your
that little twist?
Your mutation of the
of the
bit?
Oh my god, dude! Giving the guy a tall.
So I was talking to them, and then
yeah, you give him a joke.
Then I go over to my buddies because I wanted a beer. I was like, "Do we have any like alcohol around here? I want a beer." And he's like, "Oh, here, just grab one of the White Claws." There's a thing of White Claws. So I was like, "All right, I'll have a." So I open up the White Claw.
Yeah.
I was like, "Is this your?" He's like, "No, it's not my White Claw." I was like, "What the fuck?" Now I'm So this guy. So I'm like, "What?"
Now you're the guy who can't stop telling people you do stand up and you stole someone's
alcohol.
And
taking people's beat, you know. So I'm drinking. Then
all right, keep going.
There was this guy.
I'm still wondering where the, but everyone's probably wondering where the Australian girl. But keep going. No, keep going. Okay, don't get there yet.
There was this one guy who came up to. We were talking, and he said something. He's like, "What do you do?" Like he was very confrontational with me.
Really?
Right off the bat. I didn't know him. He was confrontational. And we were talking, and I forget how it led to it. I don't think I said anything out of line.
What did he look like?
He was shorter. He had dark hair. He's
okay.
I don't know. But he punched me in my stomach.
Jesus.
Not like a full wind up, like, but kind of, but like enough to like it was a fist. It wasn't like a, but
That's
it was
not
a
okay
fist.
Yeah.
And a punch in my stomach,
weird,
and I was so thrown off. Yeah, he was drunk, and I was like,
"Oh, fuck that."
I like kind of just,
pissed.
I kind of pretended it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want. Maybe he didn't know that he punched me.
This is the weirdest.
Because I'm not going to get in a fight. Like, this guy could easily, he could easily escalate it. He was drunk. Maybe he wanted to fight.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight.
No.
I don't know, you know.
That's generally not how people, though, if they want to fight.
Yeah.
He's probably being a fucking just drunk idiot. Yeah. Although, it's not okay to hit somebody.
Especially a fist punt, you know.
Well, okay. Like, was it like a, like how much force
it was
behind it?
I wouldn't say it was a tap. It was in between a tap and a punt. It was like a jab.
That's kind.
It was like I was like.
Right. It wasn't a tap.
It was, it was not a tap. It was not a playful. I
did.
did. I was like, oh, that was like, if you were a little lower, it would have hit my dick.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah. Well, after a little bit after, I was like, if it was a little lower, it would have really hurt. Yeah, like it might, it would have hit my dick.
Yeah. Did anyone see this?
No.
So what happened next then? So you say that.
So I just started talking, continued to talk to him because I was like, I'm in a foreign place right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be like, listen, don't fucking touch, don't punch me.
Yeah,
because then it might escalate.
Right.
I kind of wanted to pretend. I was like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
If you do, in my head, I'm like, if you do it again.
Did he say something after?
No, I think he was like, fuck you. He kept on saying like, kind of like, fuck you type stuff.
This is a weird.
But there was nothing that I did. It was already off the bat where he was saying, fuck you to me.
No, this is a gross. That was assault. You were assaulted.
Yeah. But I kind of was like, whatever.
Yeah. That's so. Yeah.
But I ended up leaving like pretty quick. I was like,
oh, that was like basically it. You were like, all right, I'm fucking.
So my buddy grabbed my jacket. I have a winter coat on, right?
Yeah.
And when I first walked in, he's like, give me your jacket. I'll put it in the bedroom, right? And I was like,
it was
all
one
right.
of those parties.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
Wow. That's like, okay.
It's probably a 1-2 bedroom apartment with like a living room bigger than this.
Yeah.
Probably like 30 people,
Okay.
So they take my coat, so I'm like, Aguilar, where's I need to get I'm getting out of here. He's like, you're leaving already? I'm like, yeah, what am I doing here? Like, I'm not getting anything accomplished. No Australians. There was like one Australian that I saw.
Oh, okay. So we didn't.
So he's like, it's in the bedroom. We'll go grab. So I go in with Aguilar to the bedroom.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 hot, like blonde chicks hanging out in the bedroom.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm like in a pickle. Because now I've found the Australians, yet the only purpose I have of being in that room is to get my jacket to leave.
Oh, the irony.
You know what I mean? It's like, so Aguilar's
What's
like,
your move
here's
now?
your jacket. And they kind of looked at me, and I was like, yeah, I'm just getting the jacket. Because I didn't want to be like the guy that's just coming into a room.
Yeah.
Because that's a weird guy. That's snooping around apartments,
Of course. And you've got a reason to be in the room.
Right.
So you're okay, right, at this moment in the story. You actually got a lot of moves here.
Not really. I'm grabbing my jacket. Why am I, to get my like what? I don't have much stuff in my jacket where I could play it off like, oh, I just wanted my mittens.
Okay, there's a
move.
move.
My gloves.
Right.
And then throw them on and be like, how weird am I? What do you guys do?
What do you guys
What do you guys do?
Right. I was thinking maybe, and it's tough, but maybe more the like just coming clean. You know, I was going to get my jacket here, but I think I might stay.
Right.
You know, and see. But I don't know. But my other question is, can I just, I don't know, for all the hedonists out there listening, was this a drug related?
Maybe I didn't.
Hangout?
I didn't see, but it could have easily. Yeah, probably.
That's what I'm going.
Probably.
Okay, they're doing cocaine.
Yeah, probably.
Usually in New York, you're in a room, bunch of hot.
You're like, I haven't done this in 5 years, but there are 6 hot Australian girls. I think I might make an exception.
That's right. That's right. There's a where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah.
So
this is legend. So you're still with your buddy though.
I'm still with my buddy.
What is your buddy? I would be going, hey, buddy.
Can we have a side talk? Why didn't you tell me? And they can hear it. Why didn't you tell me that the Australians were in this room?
Yeah, you go. You knew I left my stand-up show.
Yeah.
To come here.
Yeah, I'm starting to plug.
Yeah.
Did you tell them at least? Hey, ladies, did Aguilar tell you that I do stand-up or no?
Oh, that's the funniest line. Or no. You like actually asked him, did he tell you I do stand-up or no? No, he didn't say anything. Okay, so, oh my God. So you...
But they weren't... When I walked in to look for my jacket, they also weren't of the aura of being like, oh, hey, how's it going? What's that? You know, it's kind of like, hey, one of those, you know?
Did they say hey?
Yeah, I think they're like, hey, what's going on? You know, because I'm in some girl's bedroom.
Yeah. And if they're doing stuff.
Meanwhile, like 30 jackets all over the place, you know?
Yeah, they're in the jacket room.
Yeah.
Did you see your buddy? Did your buddy not know? Did he also go, oh, here? Was he also discovering them?
I don't.
Because that's funny.
We both walk in, we're like, oh, in unison. We both kind of shut down. We're like, oh.
You both want a side conversation with each other. You go, hey, can I have a word with you? He's going, can I have a word?
We're not getting my jacket. Think of something quick. Quick, think of an excuse.
What's your buddy's name?
Aguilar.
Bro, did you know this? I didn't know.
Well, now I'm not leaving. Yeah. That would have actually been funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's funny.
I actually did hit it off with this one girl a little bit. I got this new move where if there's a girl that's kind of shorter, and I'm meeting them, they'll be like, "Hey, this is Antoinette."
Yeah.
And I'll go, "Hey, how's it going?" And whatever they say, I'll go, "What?" And they go, "What?" I go, "I can't hear you."
And that's brilliant.
And I'll scream it so like people can hear it. Like other people in the party's like, "Why is this guy screaming?" And I'll be like, "I can't hear," and it'll be obnoxious. I'll be like, "I can't hear you."
This is a brilliant move.
They love it. Of course. It came to me when I was at my brother's place. We were at a bar, me and my brother in Columbia, South Carolina. It just came to me to do it.
Yeah.
And it killed, and now it's my new move.
Yeah, and now it's also a move for you on stage.
Right.
Dude, crowd were like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, where are you from? And then just immediately go, what? Dude, that's going to destroy.
I can't hear you guys. Speak up.
I love that.
Yeah, it was great. So she was laughing.
So you did that at the party.
Yeah, I did.
God, you're really on fire. That's another bit doing.
I've been on fire for a good month now. I feel like I'm having a good month.
Yeah, not this party in particular. You're making jokes. You're telling people you do stand up.
Yeah.
So you get in the room, but did your buddy know?
What do you mean?
Did you check?
I didn't really. I was caught off guard. I wasn't questioning his
so you didn't
his
know.
Previous knowledge of the.
Yeah.
But he was. I think he was trying to act cool. You know.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we're just looking for my buddy's jacket.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So I'm looking for the jacket, and like, they continue their conversation.
Okay.
And I'm already like, to be honest, I'm the kind of guy that once I get my mind on it.
Yeah.
I'm not really like
leaving. You mean leaving?
Yeah,
yeah. Because you're a smart guy. You go. You make the move.
I was like, I've already made the decision that I'm leaving. I'm not going to audible and try to salvage something. So I just grabbed my jack and I'm like, thanks for having me.
Was it easy to find it?
No, so there's a pile here.
Because that's funny.
There's a pile here, and there's like 3 jackets. I'm pulling up, and it's like this girl's jacket, and one of the girls like, that's mine. And I go, yeah, I'm assuming I know it's not my jacket. Like I'm the guy that's like stealing women's jackets.
Yeah, no, I know this isn't mine. So you found it though.
Well, they go, there's also some jackets on the bed.
Oh.
And they're all sitting on the bed kind of.
Wow, this is heating up.
So I
now you're making right. Okay.
I just jump on the bed.
Make room.
Make room. Yeah. They're like, no. Hey, Aguilar, take a picture, quick. So I find it on the bed. They kind of get off the bed because they're sitting on jackets, and I was like, here it is.
Here it is.
And I smelt my jacket. I go, oh. No, I didn't.
That would have been so funny. They would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with this? Here it is. Okay.
So then I ended up putting on my jacket. I'm like, thank you for having me. Hope you know. And then I leave.
You go and nothing to your buddy on the way out. Just like, all right, I'm out of here.
Fucker.
Yeah. I'm out of here.
Yeah, so then I bounced.
The Australian. That's legendary, man.
But also, once I saw the Australians, they weren't my type of like girl. I could kind of tell that they're like kind of high maintenance, prissy. Like they weren't gonna go for like a
that's not
disheveled comic type of guy,
Yeah, and they're hanging out in the bedroom. That's not ideal.
Right.
They're not out in the party. They're not mixing around.
Right.
It's a particular type of person,
It's like, why'd you throw this party?
And was it their party?
It was one of their birthday. And I'll tell you what, I did get introduced to the birthday girl. Australian.
I see.
Beautiful.
Beauts, huh?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I even I tried to make a joke. I was like by the refrigerator at one point.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, can you move a second? It was the birthday girl, the Australian girl. And I had met her briefly, right? And she was like, hey, can you move? I'm trying to and I move and I see her open up the freezer to get ice.
Yeah.
And I saw some Van Leeuwen ice cream.
Ooh, yes.
And I go, oh, Van Leeuwen, you mind if I grab that?
Yeah, that's not bad.
And she laughed a little bit. She's like, if you actually ate that, that would be a power move.
Ha
And I just kind of like was like, ha, and then like turned away. I was like, I don't have anything else to say, so I'm just gonna remove myself. I turned myself away from her to talk to no one. You know what I mean? It's not like I had a conversation going with anyone else.
That's funny. Do you mind if I eat that? What did you say?
I was like, you mind if I grab that? I was like, Van Leeuwen, you mind if I grab that? And she was like, that would be a power move if you ate that. And I was like, yeah. And then kind of turned away. I mean, listen, dude, I haven't been in that type of situation in a long time. So I consider it a success just even going.
Of course. It's also funny, though, that they were still there.
Yeah.
Because in my head, they're definitely not there. And I'm assuming that a couple of buddies probably thought they weren't there either. If this was my buddies from back in the day, that's all we would be like, oh, they're actually in the bedroom.
Right.
Guys, like when we came out, we'd be like, psst, intel.
If I was like, I was like drunk and was like, in my stage of wanting to like try to, I probably would have waited 5.
That's the thing you'd have to do though. You have to wait it out. You can't go back to the bedroom.
No, here's what you do. You wait like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you go back in the bedroom to put your jacket away. You go, one of my buddies I gotta stay for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be staying.
And now I've thought for 6 minutes on what my game plan is for you ladies.
For you ladies when you return from this powwow.
So yeah. And then I've got another story, but we could do it off pod. We're at an hour 14.
Yeah.
It's not even like a good pod story. It's more kind of like
an off podder.
Yeah, an off podder.
The Patreon is going to really start to heat up sooner or later.
Baby.
Here. Well,
we good? You got anything else?
Nah, I mean, I got stuff we can get to another time. This is a.
I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah, this is a classic. With the natural end point
here.
Yeah. Yeah. You know? All right, peeps.
All right.
Adios.